Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week Live. I am your guest, DJ Anthony. No, seriously, I'm a real DJ. That's not a joke. And we have a special guest today. Zeni, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Because it said that your microphone was muted, but it's not muted, so I can hear you too. Perfect. So we have a special guest today, Zeni from Pure Bliss Yoga out in Fort Lee, New Jersey, I believe, right?
That's right.
Awesome. My old hometown area. I grew up in the adjacent town, Palisades Park. But so thank you for coming. And I wanted to have you on because, as I said to you off camera, I don't think we talk enough about health, nutrition, aside from here, take a pill, take a pill, take a pill. Okay, I get it. Take your shots, take your pills, listen to your doctors. We're not giving any medical advice on the show. We're just conversing. Always check with your healthcare professional. But I said, we need to speak more about actual healthcare. Our mind, our body, what we eat, how we breathe, how we sleep. And yoga is a perfect representation of that. And I wanted to have you on to talk about that. So for beginners, so just give us your name and the business. Go ahead, take it away.
So my name is Zeni, and I'm the studio owner of Pure Bliss Yoga. And as Anthony mentioned, it's in Fort Lee, New Jersey. We're actually opening a second location pretty soon, in a few months, in Edgewater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're really excited and looking forward to that, and looking forward to welcoming you in one of or both of our locations. So.
Yeah, you were smart to open in Edgewater. Now, people may say on a map, oh wow, Edgewater and Fort Lee, that's not even a half a mile away. But if you're not from the area, Edgewater and Fort Lee might as well be two different continents because the traffic. No, really, you were smart to open another studio in Edgewater because honestly, for all practical purposes, they're just two different states. They're so far away time-wise because of traffic. So you were very smart to open one in Edgewater and Fort Lee. Masterful move. So good for you. And Edgewater is an awesome community too. But so that's great. So let me ask you, we all know the word yoga, but then this might sound, I know and it might sound rhetorical, but for people who kind of, they know the word, but what is yoga?
Yoga, yeah, it's a big
loaded
word.
Question.
Yoga literally means union, right? So when you look at the Sanskrit origin, and Sanskrit's the language of yoga, it's one of the original languages, and so yoga means union, and what it represents is a complete path to wellness and to union of your mind and body, moving you towards a more harmonious state. And through this exploration of how the mind and body and breath work together, we move towards discovering the ultimate truth of life.
Right. Now, to people who are going to be a naysayer, and there's a lot of people out there like, oh yeah, whatever, it's some new age jargon. I tell people, anybody who knows me, like literally, I'm a DJ from New Jersey. I'm a, how you doing? Hey, guy. I can tell you that, and I bring that up because what you just said is very profound, and it's true. Again, taking pills and your shots, that's part of healthcare, understood. But what also is part of healthcare is our breath. Yoga, right? The union of one, mind and body, that connection. And you even see it in sports. I tell people I compete in tennis tournaments, I do triathlons, and they, when we go through training, they teach us breathing is important. Breathe in, breathe out, and concentrate, focus, and there's a reason for that, and you can also, we can utilize that in our everyday life to help our body. Right. Homeostasis, they call it, being one, being whole, focusing on clarity. And again, it's not new age, it's fact, it's our life, it's our body. Anyways, I don't want to keep going with that.
It's science catching up to what has been known for many, many millennia, actually, in some parts of the world. You look at quantum physics and epigenetics, and they're discovering what yoga has been teaching us all along. And the state of homeostasis, we're all trying to move towards our ultimate perfect state of being. It's not as easy as it sounds, right? And right. It's one breath at a time. We're giving this body, we're giving this mind through which we can move towards that state of homeostasis. Right?
Right.
We're trying, and that really that is what yoga is. It's that perfect state of being. And in sports, it's interesting you brought up sports. We talk about being in the zone, right? Athletes, sometimes when they hit that perfect serve, if you're playing tennis, or whatever sport, you're playing, it's, when everything comes together, you feel like you're in a different state of being, right? You're in the zone. So yoga is trying to help us to discover that state of being, and help us bring it forth on a more regular basis, right? Like not just it happens, and we're almost taken by surprise when it happens, but through regular practice, we can be in the zone throughout our life, every moment of our life.
Right. Our lives are the sport, something simple
Right.
like deep breathing. That's a scientific fact. If you're deep breathing, holding it, letting it go, we know that lowers your stress level. It lowers your blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's not new age. That's science. Go look it up. Don't believe me, folks. So that's where yoga is going. That's what we're talking about. And by the way, just anybody watching, I have nothing to do with Pure Bliss Yoga. I'm not, so I'm not getting paid by you guys. Like, I highly recommend people check it out. You don't want to check it out? Don't check it out. I'm a DJ. If anything, I'm going to be asking you to hire me as a DJ, but not like, so I have no vested interest. This is just a conversation, but I do think people should check out your studio. And to that point, Zeni, online, where can they get information about what you do and your locations?
So we're online. If you just Google Pure Bliss Yoga or Yoga Fort Lee or possibly even Yoga Edgewater, you'll find us. Our website is pure-bliss-yoga.com.
Okay.
So just Pure Bliss Yoga with hyphens in between the words,
okay,
to make it easier to separate it out. And then you can find information about signing up for classes. We do amazing events, workshops, trainings. There are classes that are a real workout and a sweat, and there are classes that are a little bit more peaceful and at a slower pace.
Right. Maybe for a
beginner. So it depends on what you're looking for. We have a lot of diverse offerings 7 days a week.
Awesome. Wow. And so let me ask you again, this might sound like a stupid question, but there's people out there, especially in my circles, who maybe have never taken a yoga class or, who is yoga for?
Yoga's for everybody. If you're living and breathing, yoga's for you.
Right. Yeah, because you get a lot of people, especially again in my circles, and I run in some of these circles where you're the quintessential Jersey fist pumper, got the tattoos and big muscles, little calves.
Yoga's especially for you.
100%. And I yeah. So, but they're too manly or too tough or whatever. But we know that some of the most elite athletes on earth incorporate yoga, incorporate ballet, incorporate the mind body. So I want to dispel that myth that only women go to yoga or guys that are wearing flip flops and eat broccoli. That's not true. So it's people, men and women, who are dead serious about their profession. They could be law enforcement, military, professional athletes. So definitely it's something to check out. If you're serious about taking your life to the next level, not just athletics, but, you had something on your website that I thought was interesting. And I know what the term means, but in context and in reality, what is prenatal yoga?
Oh, so prenatal yoga is yoga that's geared towards women who are pregnant. So in pregnancy, there's a lot of don'ts. A lot of don't do this, don't do that, don't get into any new physical activities. There's a way to start yoga even when you're pregnant, even if you've never done yoga before. It's really wonderful for the body and for your growing baby, and it creates more spaciousness of being physically, mentally. There are a lot of studies that show that if the mom is calmer, if you are not stressed out, that your baby will be less colicky. Right? Just to kind of take one simple example of, it's good both for the mom and for the baby. It keeps you healthy. It keeps you physically and mentally fit throughout the pregnancy. It helps, it makes the delivery oftentimes easier. We've had women who are pregnant who practice up to the date of their delivery. And a couple of times, you know, they delivered that evening or the next day and it all went smoothly. And we get lots of things afterwards. Thank you. Yoga helped me make pregnancy so much easier. And so prenatal yoga, there are a couple of things, a few things that you don't do in terms of breath work and in terms of physical postures, but we help the moms learn all those things, and so they can be safe in their body.
You know, funny you mentioned that too, and it ties into, I think, really kind of athletics. I mean, I'm not a woman and I've never given birth, but you know, if you think about it, guys out there, especially expecting fathers and mothers, I mean, giving birth, from what I read and see, is probably the most physically difficult thing a human being can do, and very dangerous. I mean, we take for granted in America, like, yeah, she's giving birth, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but these are facts. Like, hundreds of women pass away every year in America giving birth. This is not a joke. This is something that I think yoga, deep breathing, exactly. Be calm, as calm as you can. Like, it's the most important day of your life, and a day that can be, you know, it's a very, very serious thing. So I think yoga, to your point, practicing the deep breathing, practicing oneness. I mean, I can't imagine that it wouldn't be helpful. I'm sure it's very helpful.
It helps you even if things go wrong. The situations that, you know, we can help, there's birth defects, there's, you know, mistakes being made. Maintaining a presence of mind through those stressful situations is invaluable. It can really mean the difference between life and death. And yoga, actually, one of the biggest benefits of it is that it helps you find the perspective, and it helps you approach discomfort and stressful and dangerous situations that might, under normal circumstances, evoke a panic or a fight, flight and freeze response. You're actually able to maintain a complete presence of mind and act in the best way under the circumstances.
Right. And again, I'm not trying to say
decision making. And I think we all have to make so many decisions every day in our jobs, in you know, driving, like wherever we go, sports.
The yoga mindset can be prolific and take us through everyday situations, not just when we're in the studio, but how to deal with traffic, or, you know, giving birth is a beautiful thing, but it's a very serious thing. So these things that yoga is applicable to all things in life, 100%. So let me ask you, okay, so somebody wants to sign up, they're interested, they're a newbie. I don't know, do I need special clothing? What do I need to go to the studio? How does this work? I just walk in, or should I bring stuff? What do I bring? What do I need?
So since COVID, we're asking everybody to pre-register. We can help you pre-register if you can't figure it out, and then teach you how to do it yourself. We have an app, and you can go on the web and do it. Or you can call us, the number on our website, or you can call us at 518-406-80778 is the number on our website. And we'll help you out with that. But pre-register for a class. We have a 2-week special that allows you for just $25 to try all of the classes we have available, so that you can see what you gravitate to and make good decisions. And we have then memberships, class packs. Bring a mat if you have one. If you don't have one, we have mats available here for rental and for sale. We have the rest of the props. A lot of people prefer to bring their own, but you don't have to. And just wear something comfortable. Most people practice barefoot. You can start with socks. They're probably going to have to come off in most classes pretty quickly, because you want stability, right? So you want to feel your entire foot on the ground, the inside, the outside, the front, the back. And so if you have socks, you're not quite getting the same experience, even with the traction socks.
Right.
So prepare to have I mean, yoga works every muscle of the body, including the muscles in your feet, right? And so that's why shoes are not recommended, and even socks are not recommended. You can start with them, and it's up to people, but usually expect to have to take them off at some point. The rest of it, whatever you wear to the gym, something that allows you to move. You can wear sweats, you can wear leggings, you can wear shorts, you can wear whatever.
Now, let me ask you. No, that's awesome. So what about, though, like a new person? I'll play the role, and this is kind of me. Okay, I'm going to sign up. I'm intimidated, and I'm not, anybody can be intimidated. It doesn't matter. You could, whatever. You could be an astronaut. So walk me through this. So I want to join. I'm intimidated because, I've never done it before. Everyone at the studio is going to be an expert, and I am just somebody who's, off the street kind of newbie. I mean, what would you tell me? Like, I got a little bit, I'm coming in by myself, maybe. Like, I'm really like, oh, boy, I feel like I'm in high school again. Like, everyone's looking at me. And, I mean, what advice would you give me? You're talking to me now. I'm an insecure person.
Just do it. Right? Nike's advice. Just do it. Ultimately, people can tell you many things in advance. You just kind of have to take the step, get off the couch, and
maybe bring a friend.
Maybe you just sign up online and you just watch a class from home. Now you can do it. Now all of our classes actually available virtually as well, and so people can do that. But really, there's nothing to be intimidated. Yoga is not competitive. Nobody judges, right? It's just a very supportive community that encourages you to do your best on the mat and to find your edge, right? And so it's not about pushing too hard or not doing anything. It's finding your zone of discomfort, where you can breathe with ease and comfort, so you can start expanding, right? And so as we walk along our line, along our own personal edge and boundary, that boundary keeps expanding and expanding and expanding. And so that's the whole idea behind it. There's it's just a practice, not a perfect.
All right. So if you're insecure,
so you do your best, and that's all that's required.
Yeah. Well, so if you're insecure like me, then I'll just bring a friend with me, right?
Yes. Yoga with friends, with a family.
Come on, bring a friend. I'm telling you, because I'm that guy. Like, I'll walk in there by myself, but I'm like, I don't know. It's I got to have someone hold my hand.
And if you don't bring a friend, you will make a friend.
True,
right?
But you know what it is.
Very friendly environment. You're very likely to make friends with the people here. We're all 100%. Super welcoming, and
but you see, us men, generally speaking, men tend to be like a little bit too like tough guy, like which is all comes from insecurity. So women, generally speaking, tend to be a little bit more mature like that, where they'll make friends. So guys out there, what's the matter? I think after high school or college, we act like we don't make friends anymore. So you'll make a friend, bring a friend. It's okay. Hey, I'm DJ Anthony. I'm insecure, so I'll bring a friend. So, but I think that's a big hurdle actually for adults. When you're a kid, it's easy to make friends. You're 7 years old. Like, hey, you want to play baseball cards and let's go bet. Like there's no, you don't have any, I guess, inhibitions or insecurities. You're a child, but once we become adults after college or high school, it's all, everyone's posting up and they're worried about. That's why I asked you, like, what should we wear? Or everyone's so, concerned about, how we look. I had a friend of mine say that this was kind of sad, but I think this is more common than we think. She could not roll up into the gym in anything less than a BMW. She was like, I'm not driving something less because I can't go to these places and look like I was like, wow, that's sad. But I think she represents a lot of human nature. Like, we're afraid. I'm insecure. Like, I walk into some place, like, I don't know, am I going to look like, are they going to judge me or this and that? And so that's not there. But we need to get over that. And I think bringing a friend can help, because I'm the number one most insecure person. Okay. That's why I became a DJ, because I'm insecure. Okay. So, but
you can roll up in your
whatever.
BMW, or you
BMW,
can drive in your beat up truck, whatever. It's just make that step.
Yeah, do it. It'll be the best thing you do for your life. Yeah. So let me ask you, Zeni, what got you into yoga? Because it's something that, you know, I don't know. I mean, were you somebody as a child that were like, oh yeah, I want to be a yogi, or you got into it later in life? Like, how did that work for you? Like, what got you into yoga?
Well, yoga's fascinated me as a child, I'm not going to lie. But I wasn't thinking of myself necessarily being a yogi. I didn't even know what that meant. But one of my aunts, who was very well read, gave me a book on yoga. And I started reading more about it. I got into meditation actually first before yoga. And it helped me study better. I was about 14 when I started practicing on a regular daily basis meditation and some yoga. There were no yoga studios around, so it looked very different. It's like, okay, you know, here's a book and it tells you how to do the pose, and you spend 15 minutes trying to figure out what it actually says and then practice it. But I did meditation on a regular basis. It helped me study better. It helped me, you know, not just through school, but later on working. I did a little more than a decade in the corporate world. And
Sorry to hear that.
decided,
Sorry to hear that. You had to do a decade in the corporate world.
I'm still getting over it. No, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's like with yoga practice, you can actually put everything into perspective. But it wasn't like, it didn't sit authentic with me. And so when I actually took a little break, and decided to do a yoga teacher training for myself, just because I liked yoga and I had the time, and why not? And things started coming together with me and aligning. And then the studio, opening of the studio about 5 years ago, that just, once you start putting your energy in one direction, it all starts to gravitate towards that goal. So it happened very naturally.
Okay. So, wow. And I think that's good that you were in the corporate world too, because then you know, you have some cachet and you can relate to people who are coming to you, who have, you know, they work in the corporate world or whatever, you know. So it's not just you, again, nothing against anybody who's always done yoga, but there's pros and cons to, hey, you had that former life and you can tap into that connecting with people. Yeah. So let me ask you, and we're coming down on time here, but when you talked about earlier the poses and the book and stuff like that, so what does the pose have to do with, I guess, breathing or concentrating? Do you need to be in a pose, or can you just kind of sit or lay, or does a pose kind of help ignite something or not? Like, what does posing have to do? How does that correlate with yoga?
So the yoga poses that we practice in a regular yoga class, the traditional yoga poses, and as they have expanded, they help our body feel healthier. They help our energy flow better. I mean, you can just think of seated posture, right? And you're on your desk and you're all hunched over, and then you get tired, right? And the moment you sit up straight and you broaden through your shoulders, right?
I can already feel it.
Starts to flow better, right?
I can already feel that. Yes.
Right. And so all the yoga poses help you manage your energy better.
Yeah, and I want to say
into your energetic reserves even. And so I was actually able to work really ridiculously long hours when I worked in corporate because I had this yoga practice. For you to meditate, it also helps having a physical yoga practice, right? But even just knowing certain things about alignment so you can sit comfortably without getting tired, because the moment your body starts getting tired, then you lose focus. It's all related. Your physical body, your mind, mental focus, clarity, energy, it all works together. And so as you work on one aspect of it, then you affect the others, right? You start working through meditation on your mind, it starts affecting your physical body. You start noticing things, you start working on the physical body, it affects your mind, affects your emotions, affects your whole life.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the nice thing about yoga. It works on everything.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, you know, I think if someone says, well, I do yoga at home by myself, which is fine, but I think there's a massive benefit to doing yoga with a small group or a group, because you get essentially motivated. I know for me, no matter what I do, and I've taken martial arts and boxing and you know, I've gone to tennis camp to better myself. A lot of that I could do on my own, but when you're in a group, they're talking about energy, right? I mean, it's much more, it's the next level. You definitely are bolstered up by that group, no matter what it is. And so yoga, I think, is no different. To do yoga in a class is a whole different beneficial feel than doing it by yourself, which again, it's not bad by yourself, but to have that community either online or in person, it's a game changer.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And you may be doing things in, I hate the word wrong, but in a suboptimal alignment, right? Which over time might cause friction in the joints, lead to inflammation, lead to injuries. It's really nice to practice with a teacher who can help guide you and make sure you're doing things right, make sure you're being challenged appropriately. So it's working with somebody in a group setting or one-on-one that has been there, that it's experienced, really is a game changer.
Yeah. And by the way, no one's going to push me, right? So if I go, no one's going to be like, come on, buddy, get up, do it. That's not going to happen, right? Because I know, like, some people, including
Not at our studio.
What's that?
Not at our studio.
Right. No, because, you know, like, somebody who's never done yoga before, they may think like, oh, am I going to be pushed? You know, like, I don't want to be embarrassed. So no one's pushing you. You go at your own pace. You know, it's okay, cool. So in closing, I know we're coming down to a minute or two. Can we just touch on, I guess you hear everything today about the immune system. I mean, yoga and the immune system, I would say there's a direct correlation, right? Between
absolutely
deep breathing, meditation, the mind-body connection. By the way, every single time I think in my life that I've gotten sick, looking back, it's because my mind was not right. I was stressed. I was anxious. I was not focusing or breathing right. I mean, I don't think there was a time in my life that I can trace it all back to I was stressed and I didn't mitigate or manage that stress correctly, and it manifested. I got sick. I made myself sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's well documented that stress lowers your immune response, right? Because you're allocating your energy to whatever it is that you're doing that's stressing you out. And the rest of your being may be suffering. Now, yoga teaches you to do whatever it is that you're doing without stressing out. Right? So immune systems function really well in the meanwhile as well. And so it helps you live with less stress, to moderate stress, to release stress. I think stress is not a bad thing by itself. But the problem of stress is that in our modern day life, we get into a chronic stress mode.
And no one's saying that.
And we don't know how to release the stress. The situation may be over. You're still thinking about it. You're still burdened about it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And so it gets that type of reactiveness gets lodged into your habits, right? And it becomes our automatic response, right? And so yoga just moderating that stress level and making you examine your habits, your thinking habits, your reactions, and come into a situation with more awareness. That by itself helps your immune system. But the physical practice itself also helps your body be stronger. It helps lymphatic drainage, right? A lot of the inversion poses flip you upside down. They're not all hard. There's inversions that are easy to practice for any age group and any fitness level. And so
Right.
that speeds up your lymphatic system, and that helps your immune system as well.
Yeah. And no one's saying that you're not going to ever get sick or get stressed. It's about managing the stress, folks. It's not about, right. It's all about management, stacking odds. No one's saying you're never going to get sick or never going to get stressed, but yoga is about, right, managing that, mitigating that, so for sure. So in closing, one more time, Zeni, where can we find your studio and your website?
We are Pure Bliss Yoga. You can find us online. We have online classes. We have in-person classes. We are in Fort Lee. We're right on Main Street between Lemoyne and Center Avenue. Around May or June, we're opening a second location in Edgewater, right on the water. So pretty soon you have 2 physical places where you can meet us. We also have outdoor classes during the summer. Look us up, Pure Bliss Yoga.
Yeah, thank you again, Zeni. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. Everyone, share this. Thank you so much, Zeni, for making time for us today here on Wellness Week. And that is it, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeni. Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1. We're out of here. Bye-bye. Thanks.